94.3 The Dude is very grateful to our men and women in uniform. We're proud to recognize local members of our military by turning the spotlight on them right now in our Soldier Salute.
I'm your host, Sergeant First Class Retired Don Sorensen, and on today's Soldier Salute, I've got United States Army Staff Sergeant Ron Conley and his wife, Jade. Ron and Jade, tell me about yourselves.
Hey, my name's Ron and Mark Conley from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 32 years old. I am married to the lovely Jade.
So weird.
And we have two beautiful daughters, Annabelle and Addison.
I'm Jade. I'm from Madison County, Virginia. I'm a dental assistant at Dentac on Fort Jackson. I'm an Army contractor. We've been married for 10 years.
10 great years.
We met, I went to college in Pittsburgh. My husband, of course, is from Pittsburgh. He was stationed at Fort Lee, Virginia, where I'm from. So it was kind of, when we met, it was exciting because I thought, oh, you're from my state. I was living in his state. And so it was just one of those serendipitous meetings, I suppose.
Definitely. We had a mutual friend that worked at the same place that she was waitressing at the time, and I seen her. And I was sitting at the bar, and she got off a shift, and it was just love at first sight. Just kept on coming back to Pennsylvania to keep on seeing her almost every weekend from Fort Lee, straight up 95 to see Jade.
Ron, tell me a little bit about what you do in the Army.
Well, I'm a 92 Yankee, which is unit supply specialist. So my responsibilities day to day is the main thing is keeping accountability of all the equipment the organization has, making sure that the inventories are done, and that we have everything that we need to meet our mission goals from day to day. And that's anything from toilet paper to the Humvee, LMTV, big trucks, weapons, whatever it may be. I'm just there to make sure that they have everything they need to succeed.
Jay, does that mean that Ron keeps everything in its place when he's at home?
Absolutely not. I think that he definitely is very skillful at his job, but when he comes home, that's his time to relax, and so he has no organizational skills in the house.
No, none at all. I count on Miss Jade to do all the organization and cleaning at the house. If it was up to me, everything would just be thrown wherever I threw it off at when I walked through the door. So,
Jade, you're a dental assistant over on Fort Jackson. How did you get that job?
So, as a military spouse, you have to wear a lot of hats, and you have to be skilled in many different things sometimes when you're moving, and you have to get different careers or jobs even. So I applied for the Red Cross Dental Assistant program that they offer military dependents on post. And after completing that program, I was lucky enough to be offered a position with a contract company that supplies dental assistants to military installations.
It's been such a blessing. And earlier we were talking about how hard the military is, but they also give a lot. And the program was amazing. And I'm just so proud of Jade that she stuck with it and has just been so successful with everything that the tools that Fort Jackson gave her. Well, it's just been awesome.
Yeah, and the military, the Army, they want their soldiers to be successful and they want them to succeed. That carries over to their spouses because happy wife, happy life, right? So if your family is succeeding, your soldier's succeeding. You can't have a mission-ready soldier if their family isn't in order.
I tell every time that I get any type of accolade, the first thing out of my mouth is, I couldn't do it without Jade. Jade holds down the household. Jade does this for me. It wouldn't happen without her support and her background.
All right, Ron, we've determined that you're not organized at home. Does Jade constantly stay on you about oral hygiene?
Yes. So Jade will actually be like, come here, you didn't floss good enough. What were you doing in there? And she'll be like, open your mouth. Let me floss for you. And always on me, always remind me, because I'm so forgetful that by the time I get home from work, I'm usually so tired that I'll sit down on the couch. It'll be 7 o'clock. I'm out like a light. She'll be like, hey, you need to go brush your teeth before you go to bed. She takes care of me.
Ron and Jade, April is month of the military family. What does that mean to you guys?
Teamwork, lots and lots of teamwork, lots of balancing, different things. We both work, so we stay super busy, and it's just a fluid balancing act of, all right, this morning I can't do it. You need to take the kids to school. All right, I got it the next morning. The moves are very hard on the kids, us. It's uprooting your family every 3 years. It's dealing with surprises at work. Hey, babe, I knew I said I was going to be home at 5 o'clock, but I just got this. I have to get it done today. I won't be home till like 7 o'clock at night.
Marriage definitely doesn't have a reputation of being easy, and every marriage has its struggles. Every family has its struggles. So it's not any easier or harder, I think, being a military family than non. It's just different. And you have different struggles, and you have different gifts, too, that help you. You know, the military really wants their soldiers' marriages to be successful. They offer marriage retreats. They offer downtime, family togetherness time. I know my children went to school on post, and they have a day that they get out early for family time. So they recognize that we do have a different lifestyle than people do outside of the military. So I don't think it's necessarily harder. It's just different.
And the program's great. They're out there to use, and we've been blessed. I've had really great leadership where if they take, they honestly give back. Hey, I know last week was crazy. Hey, get out of here. It's 2 o'clock. Go get your kids from school and things like that. And like I said in the beginning, it's just a balancing act. And communication is so important.
There's an old Army saying that if the military wanted you to have a family, they would have issued you one in your sea bag. And Ron, honestly, brother, talking to you, I think you needed a wife issued in your sea bag. It sounds like Jade is really there for you. To me, it's so apparent why you guys are the Army's Family of the Year. Tell me about that.
That is a good story. So we actually found out that we were nominated, that we both got emails like, hey, can you make it to rehearsals for the award ceremony? And we're like, what are you talking about? And then talking, hey, ma'am, did you recommend me for something? And first off, I want to say the reason that we are Family of the Year, the credit all goes to Jade. She volunteers, USO, puts in a lot of hours before she started working full-time, twice a week at the MEPS, helping the young recruits get settled in. She checks on the elderly in our neighborhood almost weekly, and plus a lot of other things.
And I think it just really comes down to being a part of your community. The Army is really small. Even though you're spread out, that's your family. When you move around and you're going from place to place, you kind of have to make roots where you can. They're shallow, but they're long. Columbia is an excellent city. It's very military friendly. I don't think that we've ever been anywhere that was more welcoming. And Columbia and Fort Jackson really do have a symbiotic relationship. And I enjoy seeing the trainees on graduation day and family day. And I like to go to the USO at MEPS and kind of talk to their families about what they're about to get into as much as I can. We have a retiree population on Fort Jackson. We have to look out for them as well because you're a soldier for life.
The competition for this was stacked.
Oh, wow.
We're sitting at the lovely NCO club on Fort Jackson, and they were reading the other families' bios, and I'm looking at Jade. We're not going to win this, honey. Like, these families are doing so much out there, and we have so many good families at Fort Jackson, and we were just shocked when, at the end of it, they said the winner is the Conley family.
Jade, the life of an Army spouse has to be difficult because when the Army needs Ron somewhere, they don't consult with you. They just say, hey, you're going. How does that affect your career?
It doesn't affect my career as much as it just makes things interesting. I've gotten to do a lot of different things, and there's good and there's bad, but if you focus on the good, it's pretty exciting, what we get to do. And I've got to see and meet a lot of different people, and I've got to do a lot of different things. I originally went to school for arts, which was a lot of fun, but not very lucrative. So I've, of course, like most artists, have had a career in food and beverage. I've done a lot of babysitting, being a nanny. That's probably, being a military spouse, there's lots of babies around. So I've gotten to do that. I was an educator. I got to teach art and gym and music for children. And so that does your heart good. And now being a dental assistant is really great, especially because of the mission that, I have. And I get to make sure all of these new trainees come into Fort Jackson are mission ready. So I don't think it's really a negative. It's just you kind of have to roll with the punches.
And it's kind of fun because you get to do a restart.
Yeah. Every
3-4 years, 2 years. It's a new adventure. And it's like, okay, we're starting fresh. This is what happened at the last one. Let's fix that and do it better here. So it's been an awesome experience. And just want to say when Jade was a bartender, she was my favorite bartender.
Ron and Jade, I tell you, from having you guys on the show, I've got to have more Army couples because you're such a breath of fresh air. As a matter of fact, I cannot think of a better couple. Tons of new families leaving Fort Jackson, entering Army life for the first time. What advice do you have for those guys?
I would say make a home wherever you go. In the beginning, it's really easy to look at your living situation as temporary because it is. But just make a home everywhere you go. Put up the decorations. I didn't do that at first. After a few years, you realize it's strange to
decorate your house.
Yeah.
And I want to say use the programs. A lot of the young soldiers, they're not aware, or they may even be aware and they're just timid to use them. The programs that the military has are great. Either it be my spouse getting career assistance and free training to start a career, or even times are tough. Everybody has them tough times. We have so many different options that are totally anonymous for counseling, help, financial help.
Marriage counseling.
Marriage counseling's been great. Everything. You got to take advantage of what's available to you and just making the best, having an open mind and saying, okay, well, we didn't pick this location, but we're going to see what it has to offer.
Absolutely. And get into your community. This is my home now. It doesn't matter how long I'm here. Columbia is my home, and it's a great city to get to call home. So get out into your community, volunteer in your community, volunteer with your local military families. Check on your neighbors, see how they're doing. Make connections with people because, like I said, the Army is very small.
Very small.
You never know your neighbor today. There's a whole joke that if you don't like your neighbors, that's okay because one of you is going to be leaving soon. Your next duty station, you might run into them again. So make connections wherever you go.
Thanks for joining us in our Soldier Salute, presented by Little Pigs Barbecue. Serving Columbia since 1963 with that bodacious buffet. And by Lexington Guns and Shooting Range, veteran owned and operated.